Hi everyone, welcome back to the Stitches and Scribbles channel. My name is Erin and I have a tutorial for you today. Today's tutorial is going to be for a crocheted soap saver. If you don't know what a soap saver is, it's basically a little drawstring bag made out of cotton or other washcloth friendly yarn that you store your bar of soap in so that you don't lose all of your little soap ends, and it also kind of acts as the washcloth on the soap. This is a really great small gift that you can make for people, whether it's stocking stuffers for family or teacher appreciation gifts or anything where you need to make a large quantity of small gifts. This is a really great option. In order to make this soap saver, you're going to need some cotton yarn, a crochet hook, a darning needle, and some scissors. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. All right, for this project, you will need yarn. First of all, I'm using some old scrap cotton that I had. This is just the sugar and cream cotton. I don't remember what color it's in, but any basic cotton will do. You can even do this in different yarn weights if you want to. So if you have like leftover cotton thread that you'd like to use, or like the crochet thread cotton, that would work as well. A bulky cotton probably wouldn't be the greatest, but if you're somewhere between a weight 1 and a weight 3 or 4, you're probably fine. I'm going to have mine off to the side. You're also going to need a crochet hook for this one because of the yarn that I'm using. I'm using a 5mm hook today. I picked this one because I like the nice pointy crochet hooks, especially when working with tighter stitches, but you can use whatever feels comfortable to you. This pattern is really customizable. You really just change your starting chain amount and your multiples for each row, and then you're kind of good to go. So you can make this to fit whatever size you want. We're going to start with a slip knot, and I am going to chain 15 stitches today. You want your width with 1 extra stitch. So my rounds are actually going to be rounds of 28 stitches, which is 14 times 2. So I'm chaining 15. Hope that made sense. You'll see when we get there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I know that looks a little wide for a bar of soap, but it does shrink up just a little bit. Now we're going to start our first row. So I flipped my chain backwards, and I'm going to skip that first stitch and go into the second one. And I'm going to single crochet 14 stitches across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I must have missed a stitch. 13. Let's double check our count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So instead of starting over, I'm just going to call mine at 13. So my rows are going to be in multiples of 26 instead of 28. That's okay. Now I'm going to turn my work, and instead of turning to do a regular second row of crochet, we're going to work on the back of our chain from the beginning. So right in kind of that first loop, very close to where you put your last stitch, is going to be your first one for the back. So that's 1, 2, and you want the same number going across. I'm working into that like kind of hole that appears on the opposite side of the stitch from the other side. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, And then your last one should line up with your starting stitch. So 13. That's the end of your first row. Then we're going to join with a slip stitch. You're going to think that you join right there to that first one, but that's actually your chain stitch. You want to join into that first full stitch with a slip stitch. That's your first row. We're going to be working rows in the round for this. So you're actually going to kind of work in a circle to construct this, which means that we won't have to do any seaming at the end. Now you can do all of your rounds working in the round facing the same direction. I like to switch directions each row because it keeps the edge kind of nice and neat, but you can do what works for you. I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work so that I can work back in the opposite direction. Now I'm going to work 26 stitches in the round. I'm going to kind of skip over the first one and go into the next one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and our last one, 26. Then you join with a slip stitch. You want to skip over those kind of funky looking ones because that's your turned chain and go into the next full stitch. Now you could work single crochet all the way up your soap saver bag, but I'm going to alternate between single crochet rows and double crochet mesh stitch rows. So I'm going to, for the next section, chain 4 and then turn my work. This chain 4 acts as our first double crochet and chain 1. We're not going to work into this stitch right here because that's where our chain is built up, so that kind of counts as the first stitch. We're also skipping the second one because that's our chain 1 space, so we're working into the next one with a double crochet. Then you chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. And we're going to keep working this all the way around. We should have a total of 13 double crochets, including that first chain, because our stitch count for the row is 26. So 13 double crochets and 13 chain spaces. So we've got 4 so far. That's 5, 6, 7, 'Turning the corners can be a little hard. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Add one more chain 1, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch into the third chain from that original chain 4. There we go. That's your first double crochet row. Now we're going to follow it with a second double crochet rows. So from here on out, you'll alternate between 2 single crochet rows, then 2 double crochet rows, and so on. We're going to start with a chain 4 again and turning the work. So now I'm working kind of from the inside. And all of your double crochets are placed on the double crochets from the previous row. So we should end up with the same number again. That's 1 with the chain stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Ending with a chain 1 and then slip stitching into the 3rd chain. Okay, here's what we've got so far. Now we're going to go and do 2 rows of single crochet, although you could do the whole thing in the mesh double crochet stitch if you wanted to as well. It's just your personal preference from here on out. You could even throw in some other stitches if you want. I'm going to chain 1 with my work turned. I'm going to skip that kind of first V-stitch and work into the chain stitch for my first single crochet. For this first row after the double crochets, you're going to alternate between working in a chain space and working in a double crochet stitch to get your 26 stitches again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, ending with 26, which you kind of have to squeeze in there, and join with a slip stitch. Okay. After this, I'm going to do 1 more row of single crochet, then 2 rows of the double crochet mesh, 2 rows of the single crochet, and you can continue in that pattern for as high as you need, making sure that you end with a double crochet mesh row so that we can add our drawstring. All right, here is the finished little soap saver bag. I ended up doing my original 2 rows of single crochet, followed by a set of double crochet mesh, 2 single crochet, double crochet mesh, 2 single crochet, double crochet mesh for a total of 3 repeats. And it's important to end with that row of double crochet mesh because we're going to be making a drawstring to go through it. So I'll put that off to the side for now. I'm going to grab my yarn again. Start with a slip knot, but leave a fairly long tail because we're going to use that to go through the mesh stitches of our drawstring. And when you're making your drawstring, I like to double the amount of stitches in a round so that the string covers the width of the bag itself, plus having a loop that you can hang it with. So since we had 26 stitches, we're going to double that to 52. I might add a couple extra, so let's say 55 or 56. And just do a regular chain. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. And then I like to just kind of check it with the finished piece, make sure that it's about double, which it looks like it is. Then you can cut your other end and pull it through fairly tight. Then we're going to take the other end and also pull it fairly tight because we will eventually be cutting that extra yarn, and go ahead and thread it onto a darning needle or use a crochet hook for this next part. Then you're going to weave over and under through that first row, or last row I guess, pulling the drawstring through with you and ending in the same square that you started with. Pull it all the way through. Then you can trim your ends. And I like to tie a little knot at the end of my drawstrings. You don't have to, but I tie it in a knot. That way you can cinch your soap in and hang this on a hook, and that is your finished soap saver bag. And that's it for our little soap saver. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and got some crochet inspiration for the day. If you're a knitter, the knit tutorial will be coming soon in, I think, a few months from this one. I try to kind of space out some of my tutorials, but it will be coming eventually. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw today, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you can be notified of all the crafty content right here on my channel. If you want to follow me on other social media sites, that information is in the description box below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!